However, whatever it does, and you just say what comes. And you share your moment of thought about a tree that you thought wasn't perfect, but you're learning to see that perfection isn't in the outward form of things, or in the things that you behold, but perfection lies behind. Perfection is the greater reality. So I want to take you to a thought today that's really already been expressed, but I think it's key and critical to the journey. First, I want to say a couple things about the journey. Can I say the word Journey is what I want to say something about first. Here we go. It's hard to see these things. We're trying looking at a transparency. I love these things. They help focus. Here's 3 parables. Let's look at one of them at a time. Yeah, one of them at a time, doesn't matter which one. The first one here. Let me say something about the parables first. We are thinking that God is always really anxious to tell us truth. Because you are. So you think God's just like you. Well, He is. It's true. It's wonderful. But you know something about this wonderful reality we call three-dimensional? The reason everything came from God and shows God is because the contrast helps you to see those things that God is not, as well as the things that God is. That's what's so beautiful about this work. It helps show, by contrast, what God is not. God is not a child being abused by his father. It's not God. That's what God is not. It's what God is. God is the is not. Can't get a handle on it in your mind. But you need to know what God is not to know what God is. Well, when you try to understand with your perceptional mind and try to distinguish that's God, that's not God, you're lost. You've got it done. You're finished. But this three-dimensional world allows the contrast. In those greater worlds, there's no such contrast. There's only the light. But in here's the shadows. Here's where the shadows are. Here's where the light can be blocked. Here's where you can create the opposite. In fact, everything, every action has a reaction. Immediately. Newton said. Right? So this world of contrast. And you need to learn to walk in this valley of shadows. You need to learn to walk here. You need to be here. Right? And the thing, so greatly we want to help each other so desperately. And so often what we really want to do is we just want to fix each other. We want to fix the things in our lives. We want to make the bad stuff go away. We do. But once in a while, the great, wonderful truth comes and the Spirit speaks. And he said to Carolyn, he said, all things, without exception. Yes. The reason God needs to repeat himself to you is because you don't listen, right? So all things, without exception. Now that's what they call redundant. All things are all things. How can there be an exception? All things without exception are for your awakening. That means without exception. That means when you catch them in your ear, that's for your, what did I call it? Awakening. I want to fix it. I've focused on it 70 long days, morning and night. I've focused on fixing that. But all the time, I was asking, profoundly in my soul, I became really, really humble. I became really, really broken, right? Oh, and then I think about the people who don't just have a little bit of cancer in their ear. They got cancer in their liver, in their kidneys, in their bones, my brethren, right? I became really, really humble, and I began to say, okay, God, talk to me. Absolutely. Just talk to me. Yeah. Talk to me. And it's, finally I heard it. It's not about your ear, it's about fear. Not about my ear. Like these guys are not about two people and the apple under the tree, or it's the pear on the ground. No. It's not about, what do you mean? Well, I still got an ear. Now, don't you think that I have an ear? I put in your stuff in my ear, I promise you. No, it's not about my ear, it's about fear. Fear. Why? Because the threshold of human consciousness is being broken, and the only thing that can lock you away from everything that you are is your own fear. Glory. Wow. So now, when fear begins to strike you, you don't get afraid of the fear anymore. That would really be tough. You get afraid of fear, then you're not afraid of fear. Fear serves you, right? Everything that comes your way serves you. Fear comes my way. Fear serves me. Well, how does fear serve me? It makes me ask questions. I said, I want to know about this ear before it grows into my brain. I was sitting up here with Lynn, he's preaching with my ear off. Well, I'm willing, okay, worst case scenario, I can preach without one ear missing. I can preach with half a brain missing, whatever it takes. But the fear makes me ask the questions. Own your fear. Be happy, be thankful that you have an emotional body that can create fear. Quit trying to get rid of your fear. Own your fear. Be great enough. And I said, well, I think the greatest truth that's ever dropped into my spirit. But finally I said, the reason, I'm going to say this is totally out of context. This is probably out of so it's totally out of context. You don't want to hear this. I don't want to say this, but I'm going to say it because it seems to be the right moment to say it. It's the only reason that Jesus bore your sin. I know all my Baptist friends hear this. The only reason Jesus bore your sin, that He might empower you that you could bear your own sin. Amen. How many years did it take me to come to know that? I like it. That He might empower you to bear that which is your own creation, and that is your sin and your awareness of it. And that you might bear it because it is the evolutionary path to your whole godhood. Yeah. Sin is not something hindering you. Sin is your opportunity for the overcoming and the unfolding of your being. Yes. Glory. Man, we are all alone big time. I mean, we're hearing stuff that's been hidden from the foundation.
Hallelujah!
Yeah. Hallelujah! Things have been hidden from the hearts of men. I want you to know something. True, you've been lied to. Absolutely. True, you've been abused. Absolutely. Genetically abused, if you will.
Thank you.
True, you've been distorted and contorted, and you've been locked into the house of religion, all those things, but they all serve you for the unfolding of the greatness of that light that is within that wants to be without. An attitude in us about our journey is the most critical thing that we must evolve in this moment of time. Because we're not doing it just for yourself. Ruth, Minor, this is not just about you and your childhood and your adulthood and your death. This journey is about mankind in the form of Ruth Minor. And I empower you. Yeah. Hallelujah. On your journey. Yes. Be healed. Not by the taking away of those things, but by the owning of those things. Yes. Glory to God. Own it. We're getting distracted here. No.